If you're looking for an affordable family RV that is well built and backed by an incredibly well-known name, then this right here is an excellent option. This is the 2026 Coleman Light 29BX. And this is a great fiberglass unit that has everything you need without all the bells and whistles, which helps bring the price tag down, but still gives you an incredible camping experience. So let's get into it. And we'll start off right here in the kitchen. What you'll see is that you have a thermoformed countertop, which is a nice upgrade over your standard T-mold. And just to give you some additional countertop space, they even included this pop-up extension right here on the end. Because it is thermoformed, it allows them to undermount the stainless steel sink. I like that it's stainless, right? Not a plastic. You'll see the high-rise faucet here. That is also a pull-out, which again is a nice feature to have when we're talking about, a little more affordable a laminated unit. Kind of over to this side, we can see that you have some extra space right here. That's perfect for a coffee maker, blender, toaster, whatever other appliance you need. The electrical outlet for that is going to be built right into the bottom of the cabinets here. And just like most electrical outlets in this camper, that is pre-wired for an inverter. So if you choose to install the inverter, then all of these will just run off the battery. You can see right up top here, you have some additional storage window here that does slide open to get some ventilation through here. You also have the recessed 2-burner cooktop, so this can double as prep space. They understand it's kind of an L-shaped kitchen, which doesn't give you the most prep space, but with the countertop extension and being able to use this, it definitely helps in that a little bit. This also does fold up and back just like so you can access your 2 burners. Now underneath, they kind of went with the space-saving option, which I personally really like. So rather than just having an oven, here you have a microwave, a convection oven, and an air fryer, all in one. So it kind of takes several appliances and stuffs it into one right there. Excuse me, which I think is pretty great. You also see they have cutouts right here for some spices, and you get 2 additional drawers right over to the side. Pull those out just to show you those are nice deep drawers as well. So that way you have places for your flatware, some of your serving utensils, spatulas, things like that. And then right around the corner, as soon as you walk in, you get this additional storage right here. Now personally, I'm probably putting my trash can in there, but if you wanted to put, shoes in there, I wouldn't judge you a bit. That's a great spot for it as well. And then as we step back into the rest of the kitchen here, we have our refrigerator. Now currently, this is an 8 cubic foot unit. But this, again, is the first one of the 29BXs. This is kind of like the prototype. So as they start to roll into production, at some point, they will roll over to a 10.6. So you will get even a bigger refrigerator in the later units than what they have currently. And then right next to that is going to be the pantry. As we open that up, we can see nice big space right there. That's a big, deep pantry, folks. When you have kiddos, I don't know about yours, but mine eat me out of house and home, so I need that extra storage space. You also see the thermostat control will be located right here. That will be both for your roof mount AC unit as well as the furnace. As we step back a little bit further, we can see the bathroom right over here to the side. Now, the thing I do like about this bathroom is the fact that there is a door right here. And I know this freaks some people out because you're like, oh my gosh, there's a window and there's access, and I understand that completely. What I will tell you is that this is prepped for a thin shade, which in this situation, when you're in the bathroom, I would absolutely get it. It is odd if someone comes up the stairs, you're making eye contact as you're sitting on the toilet, but that's an easy install, no big deal. And if you're worried about someone opening the door, folks, you have a deadbolt, that's all good. Right over here to this side is going to be your sink top and vanity. There's an electrical outlet on this side, plus some additional storage underneath. You can honestly probably fit a small trash can in there. You have a mirror right up top here. I am sitting on the bowl. It is a plastic bowl, but again, when we're talking about something that's a little bit lighter weight, we're trying to save weight. And if you do want to replace it, you can always replace that at a later time and replace it with a porcelain one. As I step in the shower at 6 foot tall, thanks to this skylight, I can fully stand up in here. Now, you could probably be about 6'1", and you'd be about topping it out. But, that's still pretty darn good. You can see the Oxygenics shower head right here. So then what that does, it actually pulls in some air to make it feel like there's more water pressure without actually using more water, which is great, especially if you're boondocking. And you'll see that it has the built-in shower door. And this does have antimicrobial properties on it. so you don't have to worry about drying it off or anything. You can roll it right back up and you're good to go. It's also worth mentioning that this unit does have an on-demand tankless water heater, so you essentially have limitless hot water, so you can enjoy that shower. Coming into the bunk room, again, this is what this one's all about, right? Is the space for the kiddos. You have your bunk right back here, your top bunk. This is rated for 300 pounds, which is pretty darn good for being a single bunk. That's going to be tied with the top in the industry, so I'm a big fan of that. And of course, this does lift up and lock into place, so you can use this right here as a sofa. Now, with this sofa setup that we currently have, you can see that you have a couple different configurations. You can keep it how it is, so that, kiddos are kind of facing each other, or of course, you can always turn these just like so that way if they want to sit here and be able to watch TV or something like that, they can. So you do have a couple different configurations. This also folds out into a nice big sleeping space here on the floor. Now, as I mentioned, right across the way, if they want to be able to watch TV, you will have hookups for that, actually tucked away right up here, so the TV can mount right there. Maybe put like a PlayStation or something in there, have a little gaming station. The kids will love it back here. Not that that's why we go camping, but on rainy days, trust me, it's always good to have a backup. Then you'll have your third bunk right over here with your USB port. Some nice big drawers. And if you take a look at that, these are huge, man. These are bigger than some of the drawers I have in my dresser at home. Like very, very deep drawers. Something that, again, oftentimes is missing in a bunk room is good storage. And they did a really good job with these right here. Now, as we come back out, you'll see, well, a few things actually. Hold on, before we head out. Right behind the door, almost forgot, not only do you have the big drawers, you have hanging space. And I know that's something, again, that is oftentimes lacking in bunk rooms. So yes, you can hang clothes there. You have additional space right over here. So again, lots and lots of storage space for the kiddos. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that you do have a door. So that's always really nice, just because that way you can kind of close out the world, right? If you're staying up, sitting at the dinette, playing games with friends, maybe some euchre. If you're not familiar with that game, I'm sorry. It's a super fun card game, but the table here does have enough space for 4, which I really enjoy. It also drops down into a bed. If you need to, you can just remove the pedestal legs there. And then you'll take the cushions from the back, slap it right on top, and you're good to go. Then coming in a little bit further, we have the jackknife sofa. So this will probably be the main seat in the house, right? As you're sitting around, hanging, lounging. This does fold up and drops down into a bed. The thing I like about the jackknife, though, is that it gives you a lot of storage, right? It doesn't make the biggest bed. It's not going to be the most comfortable bed, but it does provide a lot of additional storage. And I kind of like they have the nets here, just it makes a different storage option. If you want to get down there rather than lifting the bed up, you have a couple different options. And obviously, while you're sitting here, the TV, of course, would be mounted right here. And the thing I like about this is they give you a lot of space. I mean, I don't know how big. Maybe you can fit like a, I don't know. I'd have to measure it. But either way, you can fit a pretty big TV. They don't like frame it in. It's not too small. I think that's pretty important when you have a big floor plan like this. You also see you have some additional storage right down there. If you have like some components that can sit upright, that's going to be a good space for them. Now you'll see you have 2 entrances here into the bedroom, right? And that's going to be important because, well, you with the bed here, it's pretty tough to be able to slide in between. There's just not a lot of space. But that's okay, because each person has their own door to be able to get into bed. Now, this is going to be an RV queen, so it is going to be a little bit short of a residential queen, but you'll see that you do have space on both sides, kind of like nightstand, electrical outlets, USB ports. Again, those are pre-wired for an inverter. You also have wardrobes on both sides, storage across the top. We take a look up top. Speaking of top, you'll see that you have a vent right here, but this is going to be wired and braced for a second AC. So if you do want one, it is a nice, easy install. And that is a huge deal, having everything already being pre-wired and braced for it. And then right here is where you're going to install the TV if you want one. Hookups will be there as well. Last thing I do want to touch on is actually going to be the storage underneath the bed. So yes, you do have good storage under the bed. You can see you have access here, plus you have access right underneath the bed there. So you can put all sorts of items here in the bedroom. All right, let's take a look at the outside of the 2026 Coleman Light 29BX, starting right up front with the fact this one comes with a power tongue jack. That's pretty great. This makes it a lot easier to connect and disconnect from the tow vehicle, as well as to level front and back. Right behind that, you will see your two 20-pound propane tanks with the cover. It is nice and easy to access those tanks as well. You can simply unscrew this to access the valves. And then if you need to access the switchover, depending if it's the front and the back, you have access to that too. Right behind that, you will see rails here for batteries, or for a battery, but if you want, you can install two. There's enough room for it. You will also see that you have an additional solar port right there. That's going to be if you have like a briefcase style solar, or that's what you want, which will essentially trickle charge your battery. If you're looking for a little more though, this one is prepped for roof mount solar as well. Right up front, you will see the smooth aluminum here, which is going to do a great job of keeping things nice and clean. Plus, it looks great. Then as we come around to the side, this one is going to be a laminated sidewall. If you take a look right here at the pass-through, you will see that it is nice and open. On this side, there is a light. On the other side is going to be some of those prep for the solar components for like your charge controller and inverter. We'll take a better look at those when we get over there. You have 4 stabilizer jacks. You'll have 2 here on the front, 2 on the back. You'll also have 2 entrances, the main one being right here. Now you'll see that you get the large foldable grab handle on this main one, plus you have the upgraded glass door. And I really do like these. What you'll notice is that in the door, and I kind of showed this when we were in the bathroom, but again, they are prepped for the Lippert thin shade. So if you do want that, it's something you can have installed. But what I like about it is you can't even really tell there's a window in it because of the tint. I think it just looks really nice. You'll also see above that, you have the awning. It's a really large power awning, folks. You have an LED light on there, covers both doors, gives you great camp space out here as well. Making our way back a little bit further, we can see that there is an electrical outlet, and again, that is pre-wired to be hooked up to that inverter. And then right back here is the secondary entrance. This is the one that goes into the bathroom that we saw when we were inside. The other great thing about having a bunk bottle is a lot of times it comes with an outside kitchen, and this one does. Right down underneath is going to be your LP quick connect. So that'll be for if you have a grill or griddle, you can hook it up nice and quickly and easily there. And then we have the outside kitchen here. So you can see that you have the sink, LED light helping to brighten some things up. And then we also get the fridge. This is my favorite part of an outside kitchen, of course, just because this is probably what I would use the most. But having, again, a propane a hookup, things like that are pretty great too. Coming around to the back, a couple things I do want to hit on back here. One of them is going to be the outside shower with both hot and cold water access, as well as this spare that is mounted on the unit. This makes it nice and easy to get to. Now, something I want to point out is that this one does not have a fully walkable roof. That's part of the way they're able to get this down. And when you have a 33.5-foot coach that comes in like under 5,800 pounds dry, right? It'll be about 6,000 from the factory. There has to be some things you have to be able to do in order to get the weight that low, and part of it is the fact you don't have a fully walkable roof, but that's okay. You can simply get a ladder and be able to access the roof from the ladder. Again, don't climb up there, but if you need to inspect, you can do that pretty easily. You can also see right in the back, that is going to be a backup camera prep. So if you want a backup camera, having the prep makes it nice and easy to have that installed. It's just a plug and play installation. If you want to know how to do that, you want some more information, you can check out our sister channel, Camping World Tutorials. There's a great walkthrough on there. We walk you right through the entire process. Right here, I do want to show you this one is going to be a 50 amp detachable power cord. It's 50 amp because we have the prep for that second AC as we saw in there. Right down underneath, you'll see a termination. So keep in mind that you'll have a one that is going to be located right back here. And then as we come up a little bit further, we'll see a couple different things. If we take a look, it's really tough to see, but kind of underneath that slide, there's the other termination right in front of the axle there. And then we'll also see our on-demand water heater will be located here. You have your fresh tank fill, city water, and black tank flush all built in. And then as I promised, right up here you can see a couple different preps. You will have your charge controller prep there as well as your inverter prep. Now, if you're liking what you see and you're like, okay, Ian, I heard you talk about price, but how much is it and where can I find one? Do not worry. There is a link in the description. Click that. We'll show you the one closest to you and how much it costs. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.